horses running free, untamed and unbroken. To many, they symbolize the freedom and unspoiled beauty of the American West. 100 years ago, over 2 million of these wild horses roamed throughout the western United States.
It's just absolutely magnificent, because you know that each one of those animals has a personality all its own.
Many times you'll see them grazing quietly, too, and not even realize that they're wild horses.
You want to go with them. You want to flee with them and be free just like them. And I suppose, to me, that's what they represent, is part of the freedoms that everyday living takes away from us, they still have.
Today, 28,000 of these magnificent animals can be found in central Nevada. They have survived centuries in the wild, but by the early 1970s, their population had been reduced to less than 17,000. In 1971, a law was passed protecting the animals. It declared the horses to be a national treasure. Many of these horses will resettle in central Nevada near existing ranch land. This has been a controversial issue to some cattlemen, as they claim that the horses are grazing on their lands, competing with their cattle for the already scarce food supply. This controversy erupted last year when hundreds of the horses were found dead. The cause of these deaths remains a mystery. In August of 1988, a helicopter pilot making a survey of Nevada's Bald Mountain area made a grisly discovery.
It was the middle of the summer, and we were doing a geologic survey, low level, and just happened to come over a rise there and look down in the spring area, and there the horses were laying. It's not unusual to see a bone pile out there in the range, but to see a fresh one and numerous ones in one location is strange.
Within weeks, officials of the Bureau of Land Management, or BLM, the government agency responsible for taking care of the animals, discovered 475 other dead horses, all in the same area. Members of an organization dedicated to the preservation of wild horses had been investigating these mysterious deaths.
I don't see how anybody could go out there without just becoming totally ill at the sight.
I don't know.
The first thing we saw were 3 dead horses and young horses. We saw one mare with the remains of a foal, and I found a tiny hoof. You just wonder at the senselessness of it. And then we hiked up over the hill, and you couldn't walk 10 or 15 feet without stepping on another carcass.
When we first went out on the ground, that first time, we found about 47 carcasses in one canyon valley type area. We questioned people, we expanded our search, and eventually found a total of 507 carcasses. Some of them doubtless died of old age or other causes. It just staggers the imagination to think that someone, some people, some group of people went out and over a period of up to 2 years, just shot horses. We did recover slugs from guns. The guns were hunting rifle type of weapon that was used, civilian type ammunition. We recovered a number of them.
Domestic cattle have been officially permitted to share in the wild horses' grazing territory, even though it is located on public land. Some authorities speculate that angry cattlemen ordered the killings in retaliation for the horses depleting the area's limited food supply.
Other than livestock people, there's no one else resisting wild horses out on the range. I don't know that it was a livestock permittee, but with all the harassment that has been given to the horses over the last 30 years over the range, I'd have to suspect that it was either someone connected with that industry or was ordered by somebody in that industry, or it's somebody that wants us to believe it was someone in the livestock industry.
Local cattlemen dispute the allegations that ranchers were involved, and even that the horses were shot.
They've neglected to look at natural death loss.
They've neglected to look at the poisoning of animals. They've neglected to look at the stress. They've neglected to look at the amount of horses that have died from old age. The wild horse program is not working in the state of Nevada. I think it's very easy to blame somebody else. I don't know that the wild horse advocates would ever want to admit that due to the fact that we're overpopulated in horses, that something else is happening to these horses, that they're dying from other causes. I wouldn't think that the BLM would want it known that being that they have the responsibility of management for these horses, I don't think that it would look very good if their management program turned out the fact that these horses died from others than a gunshot wound.
I've been in the horse business ever since the early 40s, and I helped people that had thousands of horses on the range, and I've seen them get snowed in, I've seen them die. And I've moved them out of places where they were snowed in. And then I seen the fences come in, and they got behind fences, and they did die, some of them. But these horses out there, the ones that I looked at, most of them were shot.
A reward has been posted for any information that might lead to the capture of the gunman. However, a climate of fear exists in the area, with threats and a code of silence protecting the guilty.
It's wide open spaces out here. You could very easily have an accident. And it would be just that, an accident.
The rural Nevada is dependent upon each other for their lifeline. And they don't turn in their brothers for anything. They don't turn in their neighbors for anything. The horse killers can get away with it because they're protected by their friends.
It's surprising how unalone you can be in Nevada's backcountry. It's surprising how many things that go on out there that people see. And that's what we're looking for now, is someone who saw something, who can begin to help us put two and two together and figure out exactly what did occur.
The collision between nature and man is perfectly symbolized by the fate of these splendid animals. Until someone does come forward, these wanton killings may remain unpunished, and perhaps may continue. Update. The same day our story aired, police began to take into custody 5 men who they believe were involved in the shootings of 42 wild horses and burros. The 5 suspects had pleaded not guilty to the killings. If convicted, they could serve sentences ranging from 2 to 10 years. Authorities believe that there may be other suspects still at large, and their investigation is proceeding.
We need people to come forward that have information for us. And we know that they're out there, and we will facilitate any of their information they give us. If these people want to come forward and remain confidential informants, we will not burn them.
If anyone watching has additional information on the deaths of these horses, please call the Bureau of Land Management or call our toll-free number 1-800-876-5353.